YouTube, what's going on? YouTube, what is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good, family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. And as always, man, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it is positive vibes only. All right, Smell good, family. We are back with my favorite video that I love to do each and every week, and that is the weekly rotation video. All right, so this is week 190. 190 straight weeks covering every fragrance that I wore during the week of October the 26th. Man, we're almost done with 2025. It's crazy, man. But had a great week. This week was a lot of newer fragrances that I was getting a chance to wear for the first time, give it a full run for the first time, wear it out into the world, into the field, and just kind of see how they do. And some really positive reactions to some of the fragrances that were worn throughout the week. But all in all, just an outstanding week for sure. So let's go ahead and dive into it, man. On Sunday, chill day, not much of nothing. I went out of the house once and got back just in time for kickoff. Huge football fan, and on Sundays when I'm off of work, that's what we doing. All right, so just a chill day, something clean, something fresh, probably the very best representation of clean and fresh in my collection. From the house of Regalien, we have Haman. All right, this is like a fresh piece of luxury soap. Yeah, just luxury soap, man. It's fresh, it's clean, it's, you know, you get a little bit of a I want to say shower jelly, but you're just like legit fresh out of the shower, soapy clean. That's what you get with this fragrance, man. And I've smelled a lot of clean and fresh fragrances, man, but nothing really compares to this one. This one hangs around a little longer, especially for a fresher scent, man. I get about a good 7 hours, you know, before it becomes a skin scent going into the rest of the day. But it wears a little light, wears a little bit light, but you can spray as much as you want of this fragrance, man. And the House of Regalien is one of the most underrated, slept on brands in the entire community. I love pretty much everything I've got my nose on from the house, and this is just another one, just fresh, clean, soapy, fresh out of the shower. I've compared it to, if you've ever had the privilege or the opportunity to stay at like a 5-star hotel, and you'll notice the difference between the soap there versus maybe a 3-star hotel. No hate, just keeping it real. There's a difference. There's a difference. All right, so this is what it reminds me of, because I've had the privilege of staying in a 5-star hotel once in my life, and immediately the soaps and just what's in the bathroom area there is elevated. And I just remember how like creamy and fresh and just easy the soap was to lather up there. So that's what this is, just beautiful, soapy, clean, and the best representation of fresh and clean in my collection. From the House of Regalien, we have Haman. Really great stuff, man. Got a little dent in that one too, man. I've only had it a few months, and it's fire for sure. All right, up next on Monday, we returned to the office, and I was ready to see what this one was all about. And boy, is this stuff great. This is one of the elite levels of versatility in my collection, and I overly enjoyed what this fragrance has to offer, man. From the house of Zaharov, in collaborations with Stay Fresh Productions, we have the brand new Seamless Soul Z3.0. What great work was done with the Z Creators 3.0, man. Ross, Justin, and Ombre. But this one right here is going to be the one that gets the most wear because of what you can do with this fragrance. And you can do literally everything with this fragrance. Love the opening with that fresh, crisp, fruity apple, but it doesn't last that long, man. It goes through transitions where those earthy, woody tones start to come into effect. There's this like tonka bean sweetness that just kind of lingers around with this fragrance, even once it starts to get into its earthy bag. This is one that And I sprayed this quite a bit. I went like 8 to 10 sprays with this one because I felt like it was, you know, when I was first spraying it on and been testing it, I was like, yeah, you can spray a little bit more. And I did. I went 8 to 10 with this, and this lasts me all day long, man. Once the woods started to kind of show themselves and that tonka bean really was continuing to stir the pot of this pyramid, this stuff is incredible. Great for any and everything. This is going to be an office staple, a versatility king in my collection. And I just like the direction that Justin went, him and Grace, the direction they went with Seamless Soul. So beautiful fragrance. I believe they're available for, well, they are available for purchase now. I believe people are starting to get their bottles. And this stuff is awesome, man. So job well done. Great, versatile fragrance, man. Out of all 3 of them, this is going to be the easiest to wear. This is going to be the one that you don't have to think about. And in my day-to-day life and what I do for a living, this is something that I welcome with open arms for sure. So from the house of Zaharov, in collaborations with Stay Fresh Production, we have the brand new Seamless Soul. This stuff is outstanding, man. It is outstanding. Great stuff. All right. Up next, on Tuesday, the weather started to change. It started raining later on that Monday night. Tuesday, it was cloudy, it was rainy, it was breezy, it was cool. And this was the perfect opportunity to introduce this to the fall season this year. From the house of Tom Ford, just one of my favorites. We have Ombre Leather, the EDP. This is outstanding stuff. The most complimented fragrance of the week was Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. Classic in the community, undefeated, one of the very best representations of leather that you will get. I love that ambery leather effect with this fragrance, the cardamom, the saffron, the jasmine in here. Outstanding stuff. With my bottle, man, I get hella performance. This stuff goes and goes and goes and goes. And shout out to my guy Ray, man. He who I work with, man, good dude, man, and he fell in love with Ombre Leather. He knew of Ombre Leather, but really experienced it before, I don't think that he did. And as a result of that, you know, he ordered it that night at the job, man. And it's just one of those masculine staples in my collection. It's a go-to in the cooler months, especially in the fall and in the winter times. And just being on full display once again, I was just ultimately reminded of just how great this stuff is. I know there's a Parfum out there. I think the Parfum is good. One day I'll get my hands on it. I'm not in a rush because the EDP is superior to me. And it's perfect, man, for this time of year. So great for the office. On Tuesday, from the house of Tom Ford, we have Ombre Leather, the EDP, most complimented of the week, man. This stuff it's a winner for sure. All right. Up next, wow, what a great surprise and great addition to my collection with this fragrance, man. I've been really digging through the crate, so to speak, with this house. And so happy to have this one, man. I love this style of DNA, but with the additions to it is what makes it spectacular. On Wednesday, meeting day, from the house of Odysseus the Victorious, we have Monarch. Man, I love this stuff. Beautiful woods, leather. You get some fruity tendencies here with this red berry effect. Nice spice tones to this fragrance. If you like Penhaligon's Hafeti leather, those that type of style of DNA, you're gonna love this one. But this has an infused layer of a black tea in this fragrance, and it is on full display. This might be, well, not might be, this is one of the best representations of tea that I have smelled in a fragrance. And it's so beautiful how it is composed, man, with those red berries and those spices and those leathers and those florals in here, man. This stuff is outstanding. The woods in here get really, really dry. Complements the black tea, which gets really, really, really dry. It's like a bold effect with the tea that lasts throughout the fragrance. The red berry opening of this fragrance is beautiful. It's like this kind of a fruity, tarty, more on the fruity side though. Fruity, tarty representation there, but blended very well with the leather and the woods, the black tea. Just a gentleman's fragrance for sure. This stuff is outstanding. And I do own Hafeti. And in Hafeti, you get more of the cinnamon and the vanilla and the tonkamine and the dry down in comparison to this one, where the tea is just on full display. throughout the entire fragrance. Man, I love this stuff. You can get this for a really good price on discounters as well. I think like FragranceNet and Vimba Fragrances is where I've seen it for the cheapest of the prices, man. But one that doesn't get talked about a lot in the community, I stumbled across the Dry Down. Brother got some really dope content over there. Stumbled across his content, was watching a few videos, and he mentioned this in a way where, one, I had never heard of Monarch, and two, I was really intrigued with how he described it. So I blind bought this. I didn't sample it. I do recommend sampling, but the way he was describing it, it just kind of fit. You know what I mean? It just kind of fit. So shout out to the Dry Down. I don't even know if he knows I exist, or if he'll ever see this video, but this is a great fragrance and I love it, man. One of my favorites from Bododisia, and this style of DNA, man, with that tea in it, it's awesome, man. On Wednesday, on meeting day, did get one compliment in the meeting. I did get one compliment. From the house of Bododisia, the Victorious, we have Monarch. Man, this stuff is outstanding, man. Really enjoy it. All right. Up next on Thursday, probably the most talked about fragrance in the entire community at this point, and rightfully so. One of the most talked about fragrances, at least. From the house of Argos, we have the brand new Midas Touch. Beautiful. And I do have the 24 karat gold edition with those beautiful flakes on the inside. Beautiful, man. This is a tuberose based fragrance, and I get it without a doubt. That very rich white floral creamy tuberose is showing out in this fragrance, but it is on a collision course with the leather and the oud here. And as this continues to develop, and this is an all-day event here, I'm talking 9 hours, more than that, because my work days are normally around 9 hours. You take into consideration everything else, I want to say around 10 hours, this was still being detected wafts, especially as I was going home for the evening. Wafts were just coming around my face, and just really impressed with the power of this fragrance, the quality of this fragrance. As you get to the Dry Down, the leather and the oud really stand tall. The tuberose, it's not gone, but it fades kind of like into the back seat while the leather and the oud are driving. So this gets very masculine coming out of the mid into the Dry Down. In the opening, you'll get this beautiful tuberose that is holding its own, and there's a bit of a sweetness that is assisting the tuberose as well. But as this continues to dry down, that leather and that oud really stand out. This is one of the best from Argos. It's not going to be from everybody. It's not going to be for everybody. It's very complex, and I recommend getting a sample of this before investing. And my code Dedrick10 to help you out there as well, whether you're going 30 ml, 100 ml, or sample. This one is one of the best that I've smelled this year in 2025, sincerely. So great fragrance, and I'm not the biggest fan of tuberose. I was reminded of Zaharov, Decant. I call it this. I think it's Decant, and I love Decant. All right, I love it. But I was remiss, not remembering it during the video. But anyway, but as for a tuberose fragrance and a note of tuberose, which I'm not the biggest fan of, fragrances like this and Decant from Zaharov, they are kind of, wanting me to, leading me to explore that thought. All right, so on Thursday, great fragrance. You'll be seeing a lot of this in the later days in fall, going into the winter time. This is a beautiful fragrance. From the house of Argos, we have Midas Touch. Midas Touch, man. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Great stuff. All right. Up next on Friday, this year has been a revelation, so to speak. I've really tapped into the note of sandalwood. All right. I used to use sandalwood when I first got into creating content and learning about notes and accords and things like that. I used to, sandalwood is kind of creamy, sweet wood, and that's not the case. Once you start learning what, other notes blended with other notes and accords to do X, Y, and Z. But the note of sandalwood is a very distinctive wood. And this year I've discovered it a lot in fragrances like Parisian Musk and Louis Vuitton Lovers. And this is another example of that. This is low-key a super gem. This is a flanker to a fragrance that this brand rolled out about a year ago. And I think this is the better take from the house of Parfumeur, we have Iris Cartagena 502, the EDP. The EDP. Now, they previously released an extrait version that is very bold, very bold Irish chocolate, Irish cacao style scent. This one focuses more on the woods. And I love what the sandalwood and that dusty cacao, that slight kind of boozy element in the opening. And I love how the other participants of their earthy tones of this fragrance reveal this kind of dry effect. This is really, really, really good. This was I think my second most complimented fragrance of the week. I wore it to the office on Friday, and as on Fridays, as I've said before, we dress down. We dress down, and as I was spraying it and leaving out of the house and getting into my car, and I was like, yo, this is, I mean, every time I caught a waft, I was like, hey, yo, like, okay, like, what is this all about and what are we doing? Because I don't know nothing about this. Now, I've seen this popped up all over YouTube, so I know Parfumeur have sent this out to quite a bit of influencers and content creators, but I haven't listened to what no one had to say. So this was just fresh for me wearing it out, and I enjoy it, man. It has a heavier base to it, but the sandalwood really is the feature here, and it's accompanied by this dusty cacao, these nice spices, and this dry woody effect with like this vetiver that's introduced to this, especially when you get to the mid and the dry down. So again, as I learned the different avenues of what sandalwood can do in fragrances, I am a fan of the less sweeter side of that experience, man. That really, I want to call it a pickly, woody vibe. That's how it's often described. But this doesn't smell pickly, in my opinion. It's a bit more dialed back than that. But you are getting that kind of Galdabum, vetiver, sandalwood type of experience in here. But it's dressed up with the cacao and the citruses and the slight boozy effect to it. It's really, really good, man. I like this better than the extrait. It's more wearable, it's more versatile as well. And ultimately, it's just really, really, really good, man. So, did have a couple of conversations about this fragrance early on in my day as I walked into the office. And I was told, man, I've never smelled nothing like that before. What is that? So I had the conversation, man, with my guy. So, really good stuff here from the house of Parfumeur. We have the new Iris Cartagena 502, the EDP. Good stuff. Really good stuff, actually. I like this one a lot. This is going to be a super gem in my collection, all right? And last but not least, man, kind of went out running some errands and running around. Me and my son went out, had to stop by a few stores, and boy, has this been a great experience with this house. But this fragrance is outstanding, man. From the house of the Street Scent Dubois I done grabbed the wrong bottle. The Street Scent Dubois. We wore the Devil Wears Roses. I grabbed Black Mamba, but the Devil Wears Roses is the fragrance that I wore on Saturday. Beautiful rose fragrance, man. It's a kind of a fresh and slightly sweet rose. You get this kind of gingered pop in the opening that doesn't last long, but then you get the assistance of the fresh elements of the rose. You get these woods in the fragrance as well. Just a beautiful rose fragrance. It's not for everybody. The Devil Wears Roses is not going to be for everyone. I recommend sample and discovery set. This house, the Street Scent Dubois, and I got Black Mamba in hand, but the Devil's Wear Roses right there. Just grabbed the wrong bottle. But anyway, I did a review on this a few days ago. You can check it out to kind of get a feel for something new that's out there in the community. But I will say, if you're a lover of rose, whether you're male or female, this is unisex for sure right down the line. I would definitely look into that fragrance. If you're not a fan of rose, I do not recommend you blind buying this. I recommend you sampling it. I will have the information linked down below, but I love rose and just enjoyed my experience as I was maneuvering throughout the day. Like I said, me and my son went to a few stores, did a little bit of shopping, got some stuff that we needed, got some stuff that we didn't need, and y'all know how I go when you're kind of moving out there in the world, man. But great representation. Looking forward to wearing that one again. Just a beautifully well-crafted, great quality rose fragrance that is just truly awesome, man. So on Saturday to close out the week, wrong bottle in hand, we went with the Street Dubois, the Devil Wears Roses. All right, so check out that review if you want to hear more about Black Mamba and The Devil Wears Roses from the Street Scent Dubai. All right, so there you have it. That was my week. We wore a lot of brand new fragrances to the collection that I haven't worn out into the field. Some great positive reactions, and you know, really enjoy you know, where I'm at in my journey right now with my fragrance collection, man. So really coming across some different things and really appreciating profiles and different notes, and just in that spot, man, where, you know, I'm kind of off the, you know, it's you know, grabbing any and everything when I see it. I've been off of that for a while, actually, but, you know, sampling things and, you know, doing some research, you know, just kind of see if things are something that I want to add to the collection, man. So this week is a representation of that for sure, especially with Monarch from Bododisia, man. I love this fragrance, man. So really good stuff, man. What was your rotation, guys? What did you wear? What did you love? What was new? What was old? What was yes? What was no? Want to hear all about it down below in the comments. All right, so always, as always, I appreciate the love and support. I do not take it for granted. Thank y'all for all y'all do for this channel. It means a lot to me. It means the world to me, actually, man. I appreciate y'all support, man. So until next time, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. Positive energy, positive vibes, splack it up, splack it down, splack it that thing all around. And remember, what you put onto this world is exactly what you are going to get back. All right, till next time, peace, y'all. And of course, splack.